One of the things that I love about the Nintendo Switch is the wide variety of different controllers that you can use with the system. You can use it in handheld mode with the Joy-Cons, not my favorite way to play. You can use the Pro Controller, excellent way to play, but it's pretty expensive. And the folks over at Brook Gaming have a number of different options to be able to help you play with some of their controller adapters that they have, where you can use Xbox or PlayStation controllers with your Nintendo Switch. Now they've actually changed things up a little bit and produced their own controller, which we're going to talk about here today. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions. Thanks for stopping by and checking out what we have going on here today. Now behind me, I have Super Mario Bros. 3 playing behind me on the Nintendo Online service through the Switch. I just want to know, out of the first 3 games, what's your favorite Super Mario Bros.? 1, 2, or 3? And I will include the actual Super Mario Bros. 2 from Japan, the Lost Levels that we got here in the States. For me, Super Mario 3. It was so good, it was so deep, and it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. So Brook Gaming recently sent us this here. This is the Vivid wireless controller designed for the Nintendo Switch, but it'll also work with Android, iOS, and PCs as well. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna throw it on the photo booth, we're gonna go ahead, take a look at it, pair it to our system, and see how it plays. Let's get started. So here we have the box for the Brook Vivid wireless controller for the Switch, and again, like I mentioned, Android, iOS, and PC compatibility as well. Nothing really on that side except for logos, same on there. Taking a look in the back, you can see it does highlight some of the features: 6-axis gyro, turbo, improved aiming efficiency, which could be cool. Wake up console, I like that idea. Macro buttons, vibration, and then in the box you get the controller itself, a Type-C cable, and a phone mount, which is really, really cool. Let's open this up. So you do have the Vivid logo up top. And this is available in a couple of different colors too. So we've got this one here, which is kind of the Animal Crossing sort of color, and it does have accessories underneath inside the package too. So first up is the controller itself, and I can already feel it has back buttons on it. So yep, it does have back buttons on the back. I would say the analog sticks feel, the springs are tight, and that's not a bad thing. It's just a lot of other controllers are a little bit softer. You do have your start and select. Looks like your turbo home, your screen capture, and then a gear button for something. Find that out. A, B, X, Y. Buttons feel good. D-pad feels like it may not have enough travel, perhaps, but we'll see in fighting games. Triggers up top definitely feel analog. Those are digital. And as I mentioned, you do have your buttons on the back. You have a macro and a shoot button on back too. There's a reset button way down there, a teeny tiny hole. USB-C connector up top for charging, and looks like your pairing button right there. Yeah, overall not bad. And it does come with, we'll set that aside there. Decent, looks like about a 4 or 5 foot long USB-C charging cable. And this is unique. I was not expecting this, the phone clip. So if you want to use it for like Xbox or PlayStation mobile games, you could completely use that. Now I have, oh, and it's spring loaded there too. So I have a huge phone in a Samsung S22 Ultra. Will it fit? Not with the case on, so let's take the case off and see if it'll fit that way, because I mean obviously it does add some thickness to it. We will add or remove that, slide that on. Yeah, without the case it fits just fine, and you can't even use it in like a no, I wouldn't say you could use it in a tabletop mode. And then that just clips on right like that. That's actually pretty decent. I mean, I've never used a clip like this before. I mean, the closest thing I would say would be like the, oh, what am I thinking of? The Fixture Gaming S1 and S2, where you actually hold your Switch up here. And obviously it doesn't feel as top heavy because the phone is a lot smaller. I do wish for, you know, you can basically just hold it in that position. I wish there was a little bit more infinitely adjustable. But basically this is the angle that you have to hold it at. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to go ahead, we're going to charge it up a bit, because one of the things that's kind of a bummer and looking through here is I don't see an instruction manual in here. Yeah, there's no instruction manual at all, which leads me to have to think I've got to look on Brook's website to find out how to pair and set it up. So we're going to do that, we're going to charge this, and then we're going to do some testing. Much suspect I was able to find and download the manual for the controller online. It's one of those things, Brook, just include the controller manual in with the controller. So to pair it itself, it looks like you hit the pairing button here, you enter the first page of the Switch console and click the controller icon, pair mode, change grip order, and then hold the pairing button on the top of the controller for 2 seconds to turn on. With the quick flashing of the RGB and LEDs on the controller, enter the pairing status. Once connected, press home to return to the main page for further operations. So I have my regular Pro controller here. We're just going to go into controllers, change down the pairing button here on the back. The lights started to flash, and we're connected. That was simple. Scrolling through here, everything looks to be pretty decent. Let's start off with Street Fighter, the 30th Anniversary Collection. Again, that's one of those types of games that, you know, I always use to test just to make sure that we are getting, you know, good, accurate movement out of the D-pad, responsiveness out of the buttons, so on and so forth. Oh, Ryu versus Guile. Trying to roll the D-pad, and that is not working for me like I want. Switching to the analog stick now. Didn't hit the Dragon Uppercut. Did hit the Hadouken, which is good. We'll check here now if I can do some of the other moves. Great, but not terrible as far as responsiveness. The D-pad, I cannot make the moves work as I want them to. Yeah, it doesn't roll. Yeah, for this, I have to use the D-pad pretty much. Okay. Go back to the home screen. Let's play some Punch-Out just to check the responsiveness there as well. Button response seems good. The duck works just fine. Sit down, Glass Joe. I mean, obviously a much less complex fighting game, as it were. All right, we've got to start with a little bit tougher opponent. Yeah, D-pad's working just fine on this. Took me a long time to figure out the fact that I could punch Von Kaiser when he was squatting down. Not something I realized that I could do. Ooh. 2 quick hits there, or knockdowns. And sit down. TKO on that. Worked overall pretty well. Let's dive into some single-player Mario Kart action here. We're going to dive into the Grand Prix. We'll do 100cc. Ooh, Rumble feels really good. Whoa. Well, that was a wrong turn. Did I just find a shortcut that I didn't know about? Can I actually just cut through the center? Oof, that one bit me in the rear end. I am not doing well on this one. Somehow I'm up to second, though. And now up to the lead. You know, maybe if I actually watch the monitor that I should be playing on versus the computer screen, I wouldn't be playing so badly. That's exactly what I was doing. Got myself again, and boom. Wow, I'm getting beaten up here. Down in 5th now. Got him! Ooh, hit the curb, and somehow I am back in 1st. Yeah, the Rumble is super powerful on that. Kaboom. Oof. That was fugly. No! Got me again! This level reminds me of the Ratatouille ride at Epcot. If you haven't had a chance to ride it yet, it's actually really, really cute. Alright, looks like we're going to score the win here. We did. Good job. I will take that. Screen capture works just fine there. So let's go in here to the NES Online, because I want to try out the D-pad on some NES games, just because it didn't feel great, like I mentioned, through Street Fighter, playing and rolling the D-pad basically for some of the moves. We'll try Gradius. And we're going to further cheat here in just a second, because we're going to utilize, we're going to pause, we're going to take a look at the instruction manual again really quick here, because I want to take a look and see how do I utilize. Now the turbo button, if you can see here, the LED is actually flashing on the front as well, which is pretty nice. Kind of let you know that that's working as it should be. When the rest of the controller is pretty good out of the box. You need to make sure we're not getting shot from behind here. Oh, or fly into something from behind. All right. What about something simple, just like Super Mario Brothers? Oh, at this point I need to pause and turn off the turbo. All right, turbo is off. Yeah, again, the button presses are working great. The D-pad is working fine. Not the strength. I'm going to switch over now to the analog stick. That almost was bad. Noticed in the manual, wow, is you can actually set macros for the controller as well. So if you have certain button presses you need to hit on the regular, like let's say for Contra, when you get to the title screen, you want to hit the Konami code. You can have that pre-programmed into it, or Smash Brothers, you can have your Super Smash Attack and whatnot pre-programmed in. Let's try it out with some N64 games. So what do I think of the Vivid controller to this point? Well, the analog sticks are wonderful and the rumble is great. Those are definitely two of the very strong points of this controller. Pairing was very easy. You know, it took just a few seconds. Battery life and range seem to be very, very good as well. I do wish that they would include just the manual in the box. I don't understand that. There wasn't even a QR code for you to download a manual or anything out of the box either, which was a bit surprising. The D-pad is functional, but definitely not a strength. Rumble is outstanding. The analog sticks feel real good. The turbo works great. Overall, I mean, it's a good controller that, you know, it's definitely something worth considering. If you want to pick one up, I will actually have a link down below in a pinned comment to where you can pick it up. Now it's time for our final thoughts. So what do I think of the Brook Vivid controller for the Switch, PC, Android, and iOS? Well, first and foremost, it is really comfortable. They did a good job on the ergonomics. It's an overall attractive controller too, and all the buttons are placed in a very good logical spot. The D-pad leaves a little bit to be desired, especially in fighting games. As I mentioned in our review here, you know, rolling the D-pad, not as intuitive as I would have liked. The analog sticks I thought were really, really nice. Now, I didn't show using the back buttons because it's not a feature I personally would ever use. I'm going to use the traditional button layouts on here. ABXY functioned wonderfully, and the turbo fire worked great too. That was something I really, really enjoyed on Gradius here too. You can adjust the sensitivity or the intensity of the rumble if you want it to be more or less intense. The more intense it is, the more it's going to drain your battery just that little bit quicker. Something to be aware of on here. Now, it does have gyroscopic controls on it. I did not test it out because I don't use those. That's another thing I just don't use. Now, Breath of the Wild is about the only game I can think of that really uses those on the regular. I'm sure that there are other ones out there too. Beyond that, battery life was good, range was good, charging was rather quick, charged in about 2 hours where the LEDs and everything went out. One thing I did test and it does not support is amiibos. So if amiibo support is important, this will not do that for you. Now, one final thing I do want to show here is we're going to go to sleep mode. We're going to go ahead, turn that off behind me, give it just a moment, and then we are going to see, one of the things I haven't tested yet is if it wakes from sleep. Now, this is actually my Super NES playing behind me, and let's see if it woke up the system. It just rumbled on the controller here, and it does wake the system from sleep. So that is another really good feature that not too many third-party controllers do. For the money, it's a decent value. It's not the absolute best controller out there. I would still say that the quality of the D-pad kind of holds it back from some of the other controllers that are out there. But it's a very good one, something where if you're primarily going to use just the left analog stick and not the D-pad, something to consider, especially if having the back buttons are important to you and some of the other features that this does have on it. Now, if you want to check out some of the reviews of the other controllers that we've done for the Nintendo Switch and some of the other Brook Gaming products that we've checked out, those videos are coming up for you right now. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to help support Rock Solid Productions and be a part of our community, there's a number of different ways you can do so. First and foremost, join us over on our Patreon page or become a channel member here on YouTube. By joining through either one of those methods, you get early access to just about all of our video content, exclusive content, and a whole lot more. We also give you shout outs at the end of each and every one of our videos. You can also pick up some awesome Rock Solid Productions swag. We've got t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more available through our Teespring store on screen right now too. You can also pick up some of our awesome 3D printed cartridge stands, amiibo holders, Nintendo DS holders, and more by visiting our 3D printer store on screen right now as well. Links for everything will be down below in a pinned comment. If you want to stay up to date with everything we have going on here at Rock Solid Productions, make sure that you're following us on the different social media networks. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions, Instagram at instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK, and Twitter at RockSolidStudios. If you're looking to pick this and other retro and modern gaming accessories up, make sure that you head on over to CastlemaniaGames.com. He has a feature over there called Castle Cash, where the more you spend, the more you earn towards future purchases, and Castle Cash is just like cash. He also offers convenient payment plans for more expensive items over $50. Finally, make sure that you use promo code ROCKSOLID10 when you're shopping at CastlemaniaGames.com, as it can save you up to 10% on most items on the website. Again, thank you for watching this episode, and I cannot wait to see you again soon.